to know. Might be better with this off. We're over 6 feet, right? Deanna Phillips is handing out some information that we're going to talk about on the press release here. Everybody got sound okay? All right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Billy Cordell. I'm the Chief of Police in Burleson. I appreciate you being here. We've had a very difficult morning this morning, so I want to update you on where we are. Then we're going to release some information pertinent to this investigation. We've got multiple law enforcement agencies, including the U.S. Marshals, the Texas Rangers, Texas Department of Public Safety, and many surrounding agencies, as well as the Burleson Police Department, are out looking for Jerry Don Elders. He was involved in a shooting of a Burleson police officer early this morning. Elders is a white, 39-year-old male. His last known vehicle is a stolen silver Toyota Tacoma with license plates David King Boy 6819. Elders is considered armed and dangerous. Elders is wanted on the charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against a police officer, a first-degree felony. He is also wanted for possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, which is also a felony charge. If you have any information on where Elders is located, you can contact 911. You can contact the non-emergency number of the Burleson Police Department at 817-426-9903, or feel free to call Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous. That number is 817-469-TIPS. To recap a little bit about what we had this morning, approximately 4:15 a.m., Wednesday, April 14th, a Burleson police officer made a traffic stop in the 1100 block of Hillside Drive. As the officer approached the vehicle on the passenger side, he came up on the passenger window. He observed a white male in the back seat, a female in the front seat. He tapped on the window to get them to roll the window down, at which time Elders immediately raised a handgun and proceeded to fire multiple shots at our officer. The officer was transported by another officer to John Peter Smith Hospital, where he is alert and in stable condition. We do not believe he has life-threatening injuries, but we are still investigating all the shots and how many and where he hit the shot. So we believe one of them was in the vest. Suspects then fled the scene. They turned south on John Jones, which when you cross Wilshire turns into 731. They started having vehicle trouble. We believe the vehicle caught on fire, and they pulled over in the 700 block of John Jones Drive to abandon the vehicle. Suspects then fled from that location, and it's believed that one of the suspects went to a home in the 8000 block of County Road 802 and carjacked a resident of that location. At 8:44 a.m. this morning, a female arrived at the Joshua Police Department, 102 South Main Street, with gunshot wounds. She was transported to Hughley Hospital South, where she was pronounced deceased. We believe that the vehicle we released is her vehicle and that they stole that vehicle. Again, Elders is considered armed and dangerous. We've got multiple people investigating this case and doing our best to locate him at this time. Within just a few minutes, we will release a blue alert that will go out across the state in this situation. At this point, that completes my prepared comments. Are there any questions that I might be able to answer for you?
Yeah, just to clarify, you said there was a female that showed up at Joshua Police Department and pronounced that you believe that's that car they stole after the first one was burned?
We believe that. We're still doing a lot of investigation, but that's what the preliminary investigation has led us to believe.
Can you tell me a little bit about the officer who was shot this morning?
We have not released his name at this point. We will probably do a subsequent release of the name later on. We're still making sure he's okay up at the hospital and working with family on that. He has been here, I don't know exactly, 4 years, 3 to 4 years I was going to say, but 4 years with Burleson Police Department. He works on the midnight shift in our patrol assignment, and is an outstanding officer and family, and we're very pleased to have him at Burleson PD.
Do you know what kind of traffic stop it was? What it was for?
It was, the information that we were provided was either a defective light, tail light, brake light, something like that, and he went to pull him over. Now, I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this. He walked up to the window, he got to the window, and shots came very quickly, within just a couple seconds. He had no warning, nowhere really to go, so we're very lucky that he's in stable condition right now.
Do you know if Elvers was the driver or one of the passengers?
Say that again?
Do you know if Elvers is the driver? Or
He was the driver of the vehicle, yes.
Was
Yeah.
the officer by himself when this happened?
He was at that time of the traffic stop, which is not uncommon. Yeah. Any other questions I can answer for you?
You said he approached the passenger side,
Yes.
and then I guess the elder just.
He just leaned across, passenger side of the vehicle over here, just leaned across and started firing shots right straight through the window of the car. So,
That was the Sonic right up here across the street?
yes.
Where that was?
That's the Hillside address up there where we made the stop right there about Elk and Hillside. And after the shooting, they fled. He called out on the radio for help. They fled and went to the other location where the car became disabled, and then they fled from the car. I don't know if that was on foot or how they fled.
Is there a name for the second suspect, the female in the vehicle?
We're working through that, not ready at this point to release anything, but we are working through that person that was in the car. And we don't know what their involvement is exactly at this point, and then there was a third person in there. So we've got multiple people. The Texas Rangers have the lead on the investigation. We asked them to come in and take over. So they're conducting interviews, and we'll conduct the investigation. A lot of the subsequent information would be released through the Department of Public Safety and the Texas Rangers on that.
Do you think they're still together right now?
That I can't answer.
Are they local residents?
I don't remember where this ended. I don't have that with me here. The vehicle registered out of Weatherford, I think, but I think he has some ties to this area, but where he lays his head at night, I don't know. You had a question? Go ahead.
The first car that was burned, was that his car, or was that a stolen car? Because the second car,
I don't have that information to confirm that yet. I don't believe it was stolen, or we would know that. Yeah.
And the lady that showed up at Joshua Police Department, was she taken there by them, or did she drive herself? Or do
You know, that's a $1 million question that we're still trying to work through on that. She, we got a call that she was about by the back door of the police department. So we don't know if they were in the vehicle, how she got shot. We just simply don't have all that information at this point. I do want to, if there's no other questions, just comment about this community. We have a very strong community in Burleson, an incredible outpouring of support for these officers, for the outstanding work they do. For our Burleson police officers, some of the finest people I've ever had the privilege of working with. They do what they do every day, and this officer showed up and was doing his job and you know, ambushed. There's no other way to say it. He was absolutely ambushed during this attack. But all the other officers did what they needed to do, and all of our team come together along with multiple other agencies. Texas Rangers taking the lead. We've got multiple agencies that are volunteering resources, equipment to assist us with this investigation. I want to say a personal thank you to all of that group and what they're doing. This is, as you know, a very difficult time for any police department, but certainly within the Burleson Police Department. We're a small organization. This is family. This officer is every much a family as anybody, and we know his, you know, I spoke to his wife this morning, and you know, they're doing everything they can to move forward in a very difficult situation, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you for putting this out and rebroadcasting to be able to try to get this very dangerous suspect off the streets.
I'm sorry, do we know if Elders has any previous warrants?
I don't have his background. He had an outstanding warrant. I can only make an assumption that that's prompted him to try to escape and fire on the officer. That was a felony possession of a controlled substance warrant, was outstanding now. Like I said, we're in the process of writing aggravated assault deadly weapon against a police officer.
Chief, just to make sure, so there was the scene where the shooting happened, where your officer was injured. Then there was a second scene in Joshua where
Yep.
the vehicle was stolen, and then the woman went in and she passed, she died. And then your officer is at JPS right now, correct?
Yeah, we actually have multiple scenes. So the original scene was up around Elk and Hillside Drive, where the shooting of the officer took place. That vehicle then fled south onto 731, probably half a mile south of Wilshire Boulevard, where it caught on fire, and they fled from there. That may be how they encountered the woman. She lived fairly close to there, but again, we're still piecing all of this together. At that point, then she ends up at Joshua Police Department. So obviously, there's a crime scene at that location, and then we're checking multiple locations right now, relatives and everyone. You know, the best thing this guy could do is just turn himself into some law enforcement agency, and let us start processing him. But you know, this is a type situation we are going to put as much effort as we can, like we would any other situation within our city, and we're going to find this guy.
And schools are on lockdown right now still.
None of the schools are on lockdown. I did speak very early on with communications director for BISD. This occurred so early, and there was no threat to the schools. They did not need to go on a lockdown. We disrupted some of the traffic coming to and from, and they rerouted that. All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being here.